Once there lived a king. He had everything he wished for, but one fine day 3 questions came across his mind. The questions were: what is the most important time? Who is the most important person? And what is the most important thing to do? He became pretty restless, and to find out the answers he went to his ministers and asked the questions. The ministers, after listening to his questions, replied, "Oh, your holiness, the most important time is the time you became king." To his next question they replied, "You are the most important person because you are the king." And to his last question they replied, "King, please expand your kingdom. It is the most important thing to do." But the answers he got didn't satisfy him. Realizing this, the chief minister got worried, as now his job was in danger, so he suggested the king to meet the sage, who lives on the mountain at the edge of the kingdom. The chief minister knew these questions are deeper questions, and only that sage could answer them. The next day the king goes along with his 20 soldiers and reached the mountain by the dusk. He thought it would be inappropriate to meet the sage with so many soldiers, so he ordered them to stay there and started to climb alone. As he reached the top, he got very tired, but somehow he reached the cave where the sage was meditating, so he waited for him to complete the meditation. But after a long 3-hour wait, the sage didn't wake up, and the king decided that he would spend the night there, and in the morning he would ask the questions. So he puts down his turban and sword and goes to sleep. The next morning he wakes up with the sunlight streaming in the cave with beautiful birdsong and fresh air. He gets up, rubs his eyes to see the sage is not there. So he walks out of the cave and goes to the edge of the cliff to see the glorious sight. He could see his whole kingdom from there. He was amazed to see his glorious kingdom, and the beautiful sight brings a huge smile on his face. In his palace, every morning was so different. The first thing he gets is bad news. All his ministers and spies would come and tell him what wrong is going on, and tension. But as he is standing there on the edge of the cliff and admiring his kingdom, his heart just connects and realizes that this is why he is the king, to serve all these people. Just then he realizes someone patting his shoulder. The king turns around to see the sage standing there. He has King's sword pointing at him and looking deeply into King's eyes, and the sage says, "King, tell me, what is the most important time? Who is the most important person, and what is the most important thing to do?" These 3 questions hit the king, and a twinkle comes into his eyes. The sage realizes this man has got it, so he puts the sword down and says, "King, now you can go and rule your kingdom." That's the story. Now you might be wondering, what are the answers? If you were the king, what will you say? Standing on the cliff, sage pointing the sword at you? Quickly pause the video and write it in the comments, then I will talk about the answers. Okay, the first question: what is the most important time? All our concepts about time, past, future, all that dissolves in the moment, so there is only the now. All the thoughts vanished when the king saw the sword pointed at him, so there's only the now, the present. Everything else is a story, and the quality of this story is the quality of our life. The second question: who is the most important person? Some may say jokingly, the guy pointing the sword, or some may say yourself. And that's correct. The person you are with is the right answer. But it happens upside down. When we are with someone, we are preoccupied with ourselves. We are thinking about our own things or what we are going to say. And When we are on our own, we think about other people, so the most important person is the person you are with. If you are on your own, you are the most important person at that point of time. If you are with someone, then that person is the most important person at that point of time. Let's come to the last question. What is the most important thing to do? Remember, before the sage came, the king felt tremendous love and care for his kingdom. The most important thing to do is to love and care. So be more kind. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'm going to leave the link for that story in the description of the video. Otherwise, I wish you a wonderful day. My name is Till, and this is Till Talk.